In this video, I'm going to explain what Upwork bidding is and how to bid the right way to get more jobs and get more high-paying jobs. So bidding is basically the act of offering a certain amount of money for a job on Upwork. So what happens is that when a client offers a job on Upwork, there's typically a lot of different freelancers who are going to offer their services for that job. And different freelancers may decide to offer their services for a different amount of money. So they will bid a certain offer when it comes to money. So you can bid to offer maybe $40 an hour or $20 an hour or whatever you're offering. And these bids are not necessarily always hourly rate bids. They can also be bids per project. For example, the client may allow you to offer them a bid for a certain amount of money for the whole project. Now, the bids are one of the main factors that determine which freelancer gets chosen for the job. However, you don't want to make the mistake of thinking that the amount of money that you offer is the main factor to consider here. When it comes to getting jobs on Upwork, it's also important to understand what is your perceived value in the eyes of clients. For example, if you have a really good profile that gives a good first impression, you have a profile picture that makes you look incredibly professional, and you have a good portfolio, you have a good profile introduction text. If you have a good profile, you will look more valuable than other people. What is value? Value is the amount of money or resources that people are willing to spend to acquire a certain thing. So if you are more valuable, or if you look more valuable, it means that clients believe that you are worth paying more money for, and it means that clients want to pay more money for your services. So it's not a question of offering your services for as little as possible to get as many jobs as possible. Actually, what we want to do is to figure out what is our perceived value so that we can offer our services for as much money as possible while still getting as many jobs as possible so that we can increase our overall yearly income as much as possible. So when it comes to pricing, it's sort of weird because yes, if you lower your price, you can get more jobs. Like products typically or services who are cheaper tend to get more customers. However, it doesn't mean that your overall yearly profit is increased. In fact, increasing your price, despite the fact that it lowers the amount of customers that you get, typically increases the revenue for a company up to a certain amount. And conversely, if you lower your price too much, there is a phenomenon that happens where, because people associate price with quality to a certain extent, if you are too cheap, you can also end up in a situation where you get too few jobs because people don't trust you enough. So you need to be careful about charging too little money because you're not going to get jobs, and you need to be careful about charging too much money because then no one's going to be wanting to work with you because you're too expensive. But the best way to make your yearly income as high as possible is to get a good Upwork profile to increase your perceived value as much as possible so you can charge more money for each job that you do. The way you can increase the perceived value of yourself on Upwork is, number one, you can get better at communicating with clients. You can get better at texting, writing your proposals. You can get better at talking with clients during interviews. But mainly, it's going to come down to building a good Upwork profile. And if you want to see how to build a good Upwork profile, I've made videos on how to optimize your Upwork profile. And I'm going to put a link in the description of this video to one of my guides on how to optimize your Upwork profile so you stand out and that you have a high perceived value so that clients are going to be willing to give you a chance even if you offer your services for more money than some of your competitors. So the way that you send a bid on Upwork is that, first of all, you need to find a job that you want to bid to. I'm going to assume that you're completely new to Upwork and you don't know how to find jobs, so quickly I'm going to share with you where you can find jobs to which you can bid a certain amount of money. So one of the places you can find jobs is here. As you can see here, this is the home page on Upwork. If you open your Upwork account, it's going to take you to this page. And at the bottom of this page, there's a list of recommended jobs for you. This is the easiest place that you can find jobs. However, if the jobs here are not to your liking or you'd like to find more jobs, you also have the opportunity of using the search bar at the top of this page here. Here it says search, and you can just write keywords. For example, let's say you are a web developer like me. You can just write web development and make a search, and you're going to find a lot of jobs that are available related to web development. And then you can use the advanced search function at the left of the page here to filter it out so that you find jobs that are more relevant to what you're looking for. But let's say that you did that job and you figured out that this job right here that's called front-end developer, let's say you figure out that it's one of the jobs that looks like a job that you want to apply to, that it would be a good job for you. You click on that. And so what you do to be able to apply to that job and create your bid is that you click on the Apply Now button at the top right. So I'm going to click on that. And then what you do is that you will start by ideally looking at the job using the description here and looking at the hourly rate that they're offering and that sort of thing to figure out if it's really for you. For example, like I'm noticing here, this person looks for people charging $3 to $6 an hour, ridiculously low. You all are worth a lot more than that, okay? And I would never bid for a job that charges this low, but let's say for the sake of this video, let's say this was a good job, okay? I looked at the description, I looked at the hourly rate, I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm in a decent range, like this is in the range of my perceived value and what I can charge. Let's keep going. So next, what you're going to do is you're going to set your terms. So different jobs are going to offer you different ways of setting your terms. For example, this client right here offers me only the option of creating a bid that is an hourly rate. For example, I can say that I can do this job for him for $28 an hour or whatever your hourly rate that you feel that is a good hourly rate for your perceived value of your profile. So let's say I offer $40 an hour, and then what I'm going to have to do to apply to that job is I'm going to have to schedule rate increase. I'm not going to take care about that, but if you want to schedule a rate increase, you can schedule one every 3 months or every X amount of time so that the client is aware that you are going to increase your rates over time, and you can set how much. And then you're going to have to send a cover letter to apply to that job. It can be very simple applying to a job. You don't have to worry too much about it. The first line is just to identify that you have read the job post. So you start by saying something like, hey, I see that you're looking for a web developer who can do X thing that's specific to that job. And the reason you start with that is that a lot of clients receive copied and pasted proposal cover letters, and it makes them feel like the freelancer doesn't care enough to even read the job post, which gives a bad impression to the clients. And so people who do that tend to be ignored. And when you start by saying a sentence that can only be said by someone who has actually read that job, it makes you stand out. It makes you seem more professional. And it's an easy way to start a proposal and stand out. So you can start by something like, hey, I noticed that you're looking for a web developer who has extensive experience in JavaScript, which is great because I do have extensive experience in JavaScript, especially DOM manipulation, which is one of the things that we're going to have to do on this project. And then you started with that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to show them some proof that you're good. For example, you can just say, hey, I've worked on a lot of similar projects like this. Here's 2 links to 2 of my projects that I've did before that you can find on my Upwork portfolio. And then you link to the 2 projects. And then you can say at the end just something like, if you're, let me know when you're interested to get on a call so we can discuss this project further. simple like that, a simple proposal like that can work. There's more fancy things that you can do. There's better things that you can do. However, just to get started, getting things simple and easy to do is one of the best ways to get started without getting overwhelmed by all the things that you have to learn and do. So I recommend just starting with something simple like this, and you're going to see it can work pretty well. So then a lot of clients sometimes ask you other questions, screening questions, to make sure that you're good enough. So what you got to do is just answer their screening questions. For example, here they're asking, am I available full-time and okay with compensation mentioned in the description? Like I can say like, yes, I am. Sometimes they're going to ask for things that are more longer responses, and then you can answer that. If they ask you to link to a document, you can just click the upload button here, and you're going to be able to upload that attachment that they're looking for. But typically, I'm not going to use attachments. And then you can click submit a proposal at the bottom left, or you can also add portfolio items on your profile or certificates that you have and click on them so that you can highlight them so that the client knows that you have these portfolio items or certifications that make you look even better. But before we stop this video, I want to find another job that allows us to bid not hourly but also per project or per milestone. And I'm going to explain to you how it works. But basically, the process of applying to a job and creating a bid is basically what I just showed you, except that for some jobs you can also bid not hourly but per project or milestone. I'm going to share with you how it's different when you do that. So let's say, okay, this person is looking for fixed price. Let's imagine this is a really good job that I'm interested in. I'm going to click once again on apply now at the top right. So what we do is that we go to the place where it asks us for our bid. And then they ask us, how do we want to get paid? So on these projects where it's not hourly, but actually by milestone or by project, you can decide to either get paid by project, which means that you decide for an amount of money that you want for the project, and you get paid all that amount of money at the end when you finish the project. But a lot of freelancers prefer to get paid by milestone. Milestones are basically parts of the project. So for example, if I say I want $2,000 for the project, instead of saying that, I could say I'm going to do the project in 4 different parts, and each of these parts is going to be $500 or whatever amount of money that you want for each part of the project. Let's do it by project at first to show you how simple it is. So for example, let's say you build a website and you feel like, hey, maybe $3,000 would be a good amount of money based on my perceived value and how the market is. So maybe you could say, hey, $3,000. You need to be aware Upwork has a service fee, so they do take a percentage of all the money that the client pays. So that's how much you would get at the end. Like I would get $2,700 if I charge $3,000. So if you want actually $3,000 money that you keep, you have to increase that to something like I guess, yeah, $3,400 would give me $3,060. So that's one way you can do it. However, you can also do it by milestone. So milestone is basically, I'm going to share with you all the different steps in the project that I want to get paid for, and how much I want to get paid for each of these parts. So for example, let's say I do something very simple. Let's say I do a logo. So what I'm going to do is, maybe step 1 is I'm going to send you, I send you 3 preliminary sketches. And you choose your favorite. So, and then maybe step 2 is, I create 3 variations of the sketch you picked, and you choose which one we turn into a final version. And then you like add another milestone, which is like, I create the final version and deliver it to you, or something like that. And then what you have to do is figure out like at which date that you say that this milestone is supposed to be finished. For example, maybe the first milestone is going to be finished by this date, and then maybe the other milestone by this date, and you pick dates. I recommend picking dates that are farther away than what you think you can actually deliver, because sometimes you might be surprised by family emergencies or surprised by the project taking longer than you thought. And so it's better that you don't get into disputes with clients, because if they expect you to finish a project by November and you thought it would be done by mid-October, well, that 2 weeks extra is margin that you have to finish the project in case you weren't able to finish it by the time you thought you were able to finish it. So if I think I'm going to be able to finish it by mid-October, maybe I'm going to say it's going to be ready by mid-November or early November, so that I have this margin of error so I can finish the project without getting in trouble with the client. So then how much you want to charge? I don't know how logo design is charging, but let's say like 300 for this, let's say 500 for this, and let's say like 200 for this. I really don't know. If you're a logo designer, you obviously understand your market better and your own perceived value better than I can, how much you can charge. And some logo designers can charge 10 times more than other logo designers. Like, that's one of the things about perceived value. Let me share with you something. Like, I'm going to share with you logo designer. What I did here is I went to the search bar and I clicked on the button at the right of the search bar, which allows us to see this drop down menu that lets us decide what we want to search for. So I click on set talent, which is going to allow us to see the profiles of other freelancers. So what you can see here is that for logo designers or different graphic designers who do logos, some of them charge, here you can see the hourly rate graph, which is the distribution of how much money each freelancer makes and how many there are based on all these different brackets of hourly rates. For example, here we have the bracket at the left, which are all the graphic designers, logo designers who charge less than $10 an hour. But you can adjust this so that you can only see like graphic designers who are charging over like $80 an hour, and there's plenty of them. And like $80 an hour is like 10 times as much as people who are charging $10 an hour, and some of them even charge ridiculous rates like $150, $500 an hour. Well, this person never earned money on Upwork, so we don't care about them. We're going to look at our build and only look at freelancers who've actually worked a lot in the last 6 months, so that we only find people who are being successful. Okay, no, not 1,000 in the last 6 months. Let's say 100 in the last 6 months. So here we can see there's some freelancers in this space who are actually charging between 50 and 70. Okay, so in logo design, there's not really a lot of people charging over 80. No, there's not. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's interesting. So you can see what the market for logo design looks like on Upwork. Different jobs like programmers, some of them charge 200 or really high amounts of money, but it looks like for logo design, $70 an hour is the high ceiling. So you can look at that and you can compare your profile to the profiles of other freelancers and evaluate like how competent you look, how trustworthy you look, how much you stand out, and evaluate, comparing your profile to theirs, how much money that you can charge. For example, if you look at Tamila, and you can look at a lot of different profiles, and if you feel like your profile is just as good and your perceived value is just as good as all these other people who charge around $50 an hour, well, that means that you can probably charge $50 an hour as well. So that's a good way that you can evaluate like what the market, what would be a good market rate for you based on the perceived value that you create on your profile. And it's really important to create an optimized profile that makes you look competent and makes you look valuable. So again, if you're interested in seeing my guide on how to build an optimized profile so that you stand out, I'm going to put a link to it in the description. With that, thanks for watching. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like this, and I'll see you in my next videos. Take care.